Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? Returning it, Carlos Henderson. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Throwing is Keenum on third down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Prescott looks to throw on first. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A give to Elliott. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Open man there is Patterson, complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. And again, it's Prescott. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. So it's an empty possession there, and you'd have to say it's not like him to come up short on a kick like that.
Yeah, and it's real easy for me to say this, but anything in the 40 to 49-yard range should be pretty automatic for an NFL kicker. especially in terms of at least getting it there. So you're right. That is a surprise that this would come up short.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Kamale Correa.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
The numbers for him from a week ago: 3 catches, 109 yards, and a touchdown.
And one of the top receiving games in the league in week 1, and they're expecting those types of games from him each and every time out, and they're going to need that from him if they want to make a move towards a league title.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
And they've got it here with a first down. To throw is Prescott. And this will be incomplete. It was Darian Stewart that time who was able to knock the pass away. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. He's going to fire one. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Cordero Patterson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Now on the return, Brendan Langley. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now it's Freeman. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Royce Freeman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from taking the lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
They go play action here on 1st down. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
And this one complete to Will Fuller. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Over the middle to Beckham. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, a 22. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And that drive happened quickly, which is great because they scored the points, but then their defense has to come right back out on the field.
It is exciting, isn't it, for the offense to do that? The defense is saying, okay, that's cool, but let's not make it a habit. We need to get some rest sometime.
Forbath out to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at the 34. Off the play fake, Keenum. 1:59 to go in the first half. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early game. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Derek Johnson. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Short throw pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point, a bit of an adventure, but it does make it through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. Fresh off the pick 6, here's Keenum. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. On 1st and 10, Keenum. And that is incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing now is Keenum. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. To throw is Keenum. And the Raiders have got him. Dante Hightower in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Throwing, Prescott. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
A good pickup there, a 22.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Play action now, Prescott. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. He was in search of the tight end, Troy Nicholas, and it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Final play of the half, Prescott. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Here's Brad Wing now to punt it away on 4th down. Carlos Henderson is deep for Denver. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. So we've reached half. You sure you're ready for the 3rd quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. On the return, it's Jalen Marshall. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them.
Odell Beckham Jr. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Odell Beckham, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's White. And an alley to run. again. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a carry for White. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So no gain on the play. They'll decline the penalty to not give him the down back.
And were you thinking to yourself that maybe they would take the yardage there?
Yeah,
because
possibly.
I definitely was. But as you noted, maybe they're just looking at the downs chart and saying, okay, we're comfortable where we are.
And that is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Hey, 47. 26.
Prescott on 1st down. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
And the tackle's made there by one of the secondary members. And I can guarantee you, having played that spot in the huddle right now or on the field, they're urging for a little bit more support from the guys up front. I actually remember one game where I hopped over a defensive lineman to make a tackle downfield and realized he was 10 yards downfield. That's not good. That's being driven off the line of scrimmage, and you can't have that if you're going to win a game on defense. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. They go to Elliott again. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his first touchdown of the new season, and the Raiders add on to their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Forbath out to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The Broncos on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Shotgun snap for Keenum. He hits White, complete. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down. Throwing on third down, Keenum. And that will be incomplete as well.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. That's going to be caught. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the time they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. He'll get it up the middle. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling, but inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And he missed it again. The 4th time now in this game alone, and that has to be great cause for concern over on that sideline. Forbath out to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Hey, boys, here goes the high. 120. Stay high.
Back to the air. Keenum on 2nd down. His throw incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Now Keenum. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. Here's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Marquette King now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment. And to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And an alley to run. Zeke with a shake and bake. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
This is Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Forbath out to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Throwing on first down is Keenum. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those darn quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken like a true defensive back, Mr. Davis.
Did that come out?
It did.
Okay.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down.
Hey, here goes the high. Right 20.
Throwing is Keenum on third down. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
On the mental focus of the whole
that's
thing.
true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true.
Let's go! Spread 38! Spread 38!
That one looks like he'll throw here. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. He's got a man, complete. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score.